What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another trade recap. Today's trade was a beautiful winning trade using my model. Before we do get into it, I did take some losing trade this morning that I briefly want to go into before we do the in-depth trade recap on the winner. I took some lawns. I won't even bother drawing it, the actual setup. Took lawns off this level, and I took lawns off this level. I round-tripped both, obviously. I wanted the London highs. We ended up not taking them, so I took stop losses on both. I lost about 1%. Between my top step trades, and the reason that I traded those top step accounts in the morning and lost on those and not on the alpha accounts isn't because I trade them separately, but Trade-Evate was down this morning, so my trade copier didn't translate the trades from top step X to Trade-Evate for alpha futures, and so I ended up not taking anything on the alphas. And then later in the day, afternoon, I was looking for a little PM play, and that's exactly what we got. I looked and I saw this actually initially, and I took this with the same 12.5 point stop. Obviously, I got SL'd. I retook the trade, and I'll explain why. The reason I retook was I knew we were going on our way back up, and we had already input our higher low, or our new low, and inversed, and we are now creating higher lows, as you can see. We created a higher low here, and that was confirmed by the inverse fair value gap. So, oops, I thought I put the... Is it not Alt-Shift-R? That's literally what I'm hitting. I don't know why the rectangle tool abbreviation is not working right now, but this is the inverse fair value gap. So you have the bearish fair value gap right here, which is then mitigated by that solid close through the fair value gap, obviously. And when that mitigation occurs, and also includes the opposite fair value gap being formed, so the bearish fair value gap was mitigated and the bullish one was created, that's our inverse fair value gap, and that's telling us that we are going up from here, and we're probably going to leave this higher low, and that's exactly what happened. Now, I did not take this based on the IFEG, but the IFEG gave me the context, kind of. The model is why I took the trade, and I waited for the break above my level and the retest to it, and it was an FEG candle, which makes that higher probability, but the FEG was mitigated right here, and it did support just between the level and this fair value gap. I took the 12.5 point stop because of my last trade. If you don't remember, on Monday, I got perfectly stopped out, which was like bad luck before the trade seamlessly played out. Today was the opposite, where I perfectly did not get stopped out before the trade played out. That was thanks to my 12.5 point stop, or 50 tick stop, which, like I mentioned in the last video, was an adaptation that I decided to make based on my friend's advice, because I kept getting stop lossed like this. I typically would anchor on the low of the candle, and if I had done that again, perfectly stopped out before the play, of course, continues. So luckily today, the 50 tick stop was undefeated in this case, and this was the trade. It was for 170 points that I took for 14 RR, but it was actually a 17 RR setup, I believe, to right here. Well, it says 15, but it was a 180 point setup that I actually placed. The reason I took it right here is because when we came down off of this, I just changed my limit to right here, and I won it out because I was scared that we were going to dump back down, which we ended up doing. And I knew that we would because it's just been such chopped PA. But yeah, we came all the way back down and basically break even right here. It did not take the break even perfectly. It did edge it by 3 ticks. But still, that is the nightmare scenario where you get the break even trailed stop and then it plays out. But luckily, I didn't get greedy. I took it at this low resistance liquidity right up here, and I got out. So yeah, that is how I made about 5% profit if you include my top step loss. 6% profit on my alpha accounts. I did lose the 1% on top step, so 5% cumulative profit for the day, but really 6% profit on my alpha accounts. But yeah, very good, simple day, clean demonstration of the model. In the description below, I will leave a link to my Discord server where I stream my trades live Monday through Friday. I will also have a link to the indicator, as you can see on screen. I'm using a custom indicator, mine, that plots all of the levels that I use to make my trades. And then I will also leave a link to the custom model demonstration where you can see a longer form demonstration of me back testing the strategy and explaining how to use it and showing you some real trade examples as well. So I will leave all of those links down in the description below. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.